This conference paper is about how to institute social and emotional learning in cultural heritage sites using projective augmented reality. This paper has been co-authored by myself, Marie-Monique Schaper, and Narcis from Universitat Pompeu Fabra, Barcelona, Spain. Why is social-emotional learning important? The World Economic Forum highlighted students' skills gap in the 21st century in ways how technology can enable social and emotional learning. This report showed that students lack crucial social and emotional competences, such as communication and collaboration. These competences are necessary in our rapidly changing work environments, also to achieve better academic outcomes and to support them to contribute to society. In this request, research has shown the benefits of augmented and mixed reality to contribute to embodied and collaborative learning experiences. However, these studies also stress that there's still a need for a deeper understanding of augmented reality and mixed reality properties to design systems capable of unfolding student skill in social and cultural awareness. For this study, we focused on the research question, how can we enhance students' social and emotional learning in outdoor cultural heritage sites using the world of support interaction paradigm. We used a functional prototype based on a marker recognition system. We used the markers strategically to trigger contents in specific locations of the shelter in a simple manner. The device recognized markers in physical space and projected virtual content next to the marker on any type of surface. The case study has been conducted in the context of a cultural heritage site named Refugio 307. The site is one of the bomb shelters that were built by civilians during the Spanish Civil War in Barcelona. The national curriculum of Spanish primary schools foresees teaching socio-cultural values as an essential mission to appreciate norms of our living together. In this study, we understand the concept of values as the fundamental elements of culture. They define the meaning and significance of people within a society. We focused on 3 sociocultural values, which were human dignity, solidarity, and pluralism. In this study participated 16 primary students from the same class of a public school in Barcelona. In the first session, we went to the school. The goal was to introduce the students to the historical topic and to assess their previous knowledge. For the second session, we invited the students and the teachers to a guided visit of the bomb shelter. We complemented the guided tour through different learning activities for which we used the world of support interaction paradigm. For the third session, we went back to the school and assessed what the students learned from the interactive experience. In our study, we tried out 6 educational activities based on the world of support paradigm. For instance, activity 1, here one student pointed with the prototype at the ceiling of the shelter, and at the same time a video of an aeroplane dropping a bomb was displayed. In activity 4, 2 students collaborated in an activity where they had to bring a virtual stretcher with an injured person into the medical room of the shelter. In activity 6, 2 children compared 2 different images. The first one was from a child of the Spanish Civil War, and the second one from the war in Syria. Our findings show that these 3 activities had a particularly strong emotional impact on the children and helped them to empathize with civilians from the Spanish Civil War. What they all had in common was that they used audiovisual materials and implied role-play activities. They supported students' abilities to step into other people's lived experience in the past. It helped them to understand a thoughtful task that they had performed, for example, by carrying the virtual stretcher. Our findings showed that the learning activities based on the world as support interaction paradigm supported students' emotional experience and multiple interactions between them. The students were able to empathize with concrete situations and high-level issues related to the term collective trauma. On the other hand, the students were capable of grasping the essential qualities of the sociocultural value solidarity. Interestingly, they also made connections between historical events and present political situations in Barcelona, such as demonstrations for the Catalonian independence. Our findings led to 4 different recommendations. The first one is about supporting students' competences in communication and collaboration through balancing performance roles. That means our findings showed that activities in which one student led the task and others joined as active spectators or role-play activities between several students supported group participation and group discussions. During these activities, the students needed to show respect and tolerance for each other, which are considered essential skills to understand the meaning of socio-cultural values. Our second design recommendation poses that the world of support helps students to think critically about historical events through perspective-taking activities and thoughtful embodied explorations. Our findings showed that the guide explanations during the visit were supported by different world of support activities. Collaborative activities in which the students were asked to compare different contents helped them to take different viewpoints of people's situations and opinions. Particularly, activities that promoted the sensation of physical effort of other people's actions helped the students to imagine how civilians experienced the shelter during the war. Our third design recommendation relates to the need for supporting students' explorations of the physical environment in meaningful ways in order to discover new layers of the educational experience. Our findings point towards the potential of the world of support to contextualize educational contents by promoting students' spatial awareness on specific characteristics of the shelter. Our fourth design recommendation relates to the consideration of how digital augmentation may impact students' emotional experience and its long-term effects on children's emotional development. Our findings showed that several learning activities evoked feelings related to fear, sadness, and traumatizing situations of civilians during the war. Despite our intentions to support students' empathy on civilians' experiences, we believe that there's a need of a critical reflection upon the age-appropriateness of audiovisual contents. Our study also showed some limitations. We had difficulties, for example, to assess students' previous knowledge about the socio-cultural values of pluralism. To tackle this issue, future research needs to explore new methods to assess students' worldviews about abstract concepts and reflect upon children's cognitive capacities at different age stages. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation. For further details, we invite you to read our conference paper.